guys. I forgot what is my intro. It's usually, hey guys, welcome to today's video. Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today I'm kind of going to do very close to a full face of Dior, but really the star of this video is their new release. So I didn't get everything, and it seems like it might be two different releases, and I know that the Millefiori is limited edition. There was a powder that I didn't get, and this I set up my community page, which is where I put new releases or deals or sales that I find out about. And I said, I have to get this. This, you can put anything in. This is fabric, you guys. So here's silver, here's the logo, blah, blah, blah. And then I got a refill of the Dior Addict to put inside. This kind of formula is not my favorite thing in the world, so I got something very, very neutral, and this packaging is insane. And then they released a new color, both in the lipstick and the Dior Addict, and that's really lovely packaging too. I don't know if this is new, because the other ones that I have are clear. Maybe it's a different product. But these are both in 147 Miss Dior. So same color, different formulas. We're going to put those on. And I'm going to put on a highlighter that I got a long time ago. I'm not sure if it was limited edition or not. And it was a little too dark for me. The whole collection was. So I rarely use it. It's great on the eyes though. So we're going to do that. I am wearing the Dior Natural Nude Forever on my face, which is a little bit too light. It's 2N, and 2N is different from line to line. Like the backstage is a little bit darker, but it's still decent. A little. I knew something fell on me when I took Grace out for a walk, a little flower, and you know what? I don't mind it. We'll just leave that in the hair. It actually matches the theme. And the Dior Backstage Concealer, which I also put on my eyes and powdered because we are taking a look at this. This is also 1947 Miss Dior, and I've never bought anything from them that is pinkish in hue, so we thought, the royal we thought that we would give this a try. Now, the other day I shot a different video, I can't remember what it was, and I cut away and did this for a daytime look. So we'll do that afterwards. Since I've already done a daytime look, I'm thinking I guess I'll do a more dramatic kind of evening look. And I have my favorite Dior blush all lined up and at the ready. And let's get into it. We're going to start with this. So let me do a couple of swatches for you. This is pretty matte, as I recall, and this seems like a topper shade and super pretty. This has a little bit of a peachiness to it, and there they are. So this is an interesting palette. It's not really pink, but you think it is, right? Look at that. Right there. Again, there's a little bit, it's a pinky peachy kind of color, I think. When it's swatched, you can really see that peachiness, which can be flattering, you guys, much more flattering than pinks. And then this one, ooh, that's pretty. Look at that. I'm not sure you're gonna see how this color moves, but it is kind of a little bit of a fiery color with maybe a teeny bit of copper and some pinks as well. Okay, I'm gonna go on with this biggest brush and put this color all over the lid. I've already put the concealer on, and I think that Dior Backstage is really good for base for your eyes, and I powdered it so it's not too sticky. For me, having stick makes it harder to blend things, especially when you have less than perfect eyes. You're a little bit older, you have a little bit of crepiness. And see how easily that goes on? So for me, it's nearly a skin tone, but I can see a little bit of that peachiness. And peach can help neutralize darkness and redness and all that stuff, which I don't really have much of because I did prime. But if you don't like to prime, this will just help. And it's a great shade for help blending out something else if you go a little too heavy. So I'm a fan of this particular shade. Now I'm going to try something a little bit different. I usually do, you know, the transition and then go deeper. I'm going to start with the deeper shade. See how easy that is to get what you need to be going? I think maybe it's not just a function of my hood, a little fallout with that. I didn't knock off enough. But also my eyes are on the smaller side. This is really easy to work with. It's just going where I want it to go, which I appreciate. I may have done it wrong though. So we'll clean up. Again, just laying it all down initially, and then we'll do a big blend. And then I'm going to go in with this MAC brush and this kind of pinky peach color. I think this palette could easily work in spring as well. So this dark color I would just use as a liner. And with this color I can go all the way to the inner because it doesn't have a darkness about it. And before I go on with anything else, I'm going to sit here and blend for quite some time. I will do a video on how I finish, because oftentimes, for instance, I just did a video on the Triclone foundation, and when I came back after my makeup, I thought, well, it kind of looks like I had a stroke. And then after I finished, I blended more and more and more and shot another video, and I came back after that, and the eyes looked so much better. It's just, if you don't have perfect eyes, you guys, maybe they're a little uneven, one's a little more hooded than the other, you've got to spend some time blending, which is not all that interesting. So I'm going to turn off the camera and come back in a sec. And now we have a blend, and it looks quite soft, and I hopefully got it kind of even, but it's not all that evening. I could make it really soft and diaphanous and just go on with this shade here, which is so beautiful, but I want to use that other shade as well, just to show you what that's about. So here's with, here's without, eyes open. You could also do inner corner with this if you wanted. I think that shade would have much more impact if I put it over a darker color instead of this color, which is what I did. Now, let's clean this off, and I want to go with this color, which is really kind of fiery. Not really sure what to do with it. I'm just going to put it on the lid. This kind of color will really emphasize blue eyes and green eyes because it's kind of an opposite with that copper nature going on. Really subtle, as Dior shadows always are, which I really like. I want to go in with this darker, more aubergine kind of color again. This time I want to get it wet. I just want to see what I can get out of it. And that's just glycerin water. And put this by the lash line. I just wonder if it will adhere better if it's wet, because I want to keep that darkness. And why not do a little bit under the eye, just a teeny bit. This doesn't always work very well on me. Yeah, it tends to make my eyes look smaller when I put liner under my eyes. So I'm going to take this and remove it. I just don't think color under the eyes or liner under the eyes works super well for me. Instead of doing this, which is far too dark for me, it'll make me look, it just doesn't look that great on me. This, which is a little too light, but let's see. And very sparingly. I love this brush. I can hardly feel it. It's so soft. Do you hear her snoring? Grace does not have the symphonic range of snores that Lucy did. Lucy would sometimes snore like Fred Flintstone. It was like, I can't even imitate it. It was like, and then I think that was her exhale. Yeah, and her lip would flap while she was doing it. It was hysterical. And I was never able to get that on film, you know, because I'm not that person who just has my phone out all the time, and by the time I would get it, it would have stopped, it would have ended, but hysterical. I'm going to go in with the lightest color again, the first color, that peachy color, to blend out the edge here. If you're new here, or if I haven't reminded you in a while, my eyes are really uneven. So this eye is not as hooded anymore as this eye for some weird reason. Right now they look the same, but other times they don't. But I also have something that looks like a fatty bit, but it's actually my tear duct gland protruding here. And it often looks like I didn't blend in well because it protrudes and somehow the color doesn't either adhere or it doesn't look like it's adhering. So it's not a function of the shadows. I love Dior shadows. They're just easy to work with. And I feel like this is an evening eye that is not as dramatic, for instance, as the Chanel I did recently, which I loved. But if I wanted something evening that was a little softer, this is what I would do. Now I did have a little bit of fallout, which is user error. I tried to get rid of it, but I think it's still there because it was the darkest color. So I'm just going to go in here and clean that up. And then I'm going to do some tight lining and mascara and brows, and we'll come back and do lips. I am back. Look at my lashes. Bringing you in. Look how fluttery and lovely. This is like my dream. It is the Dior Overcurl. And I think I've had this for some time. I think I got it when I bought something at Dior and they sent it little thingies that you ask for, little things. I've tried it before, but I don't remember it being this feathery and lovely. And I think it's because it's dried out for a little bit. So this is just the kind of lash I love. Fluffy, fluttery. It makes me look like I have 2 times as many, which that's my goal. So a little bit of shine on the face. I'm going to powder. This is my favorite blush. It's 352. I can't remember. I think it's Denseless. Works well with my complexion. And this is Rosewood Glow. It's a little too deep. So let's go on with lips. So this is the same color in both. This is the Dior Addict, and I really love the housing, the component, as they like to call it. And so my lip has a little bit more blue in it. It actually kind of matches my shirt a little bit. And this one has more pink, if you can see that. And it's very, very comfortable. However, it's very, very scented, you guys. My foundation is scented as well, but that scent goes away and it's not in your mouth where I can, sometimes I feel that I can taste lipsticks, and if they are vanilla, I'm okay with it, but this is a floral. But it makes this look very, very fresh. Maybe I could benefit from a little bit of a liner with this kind of formula. That's just me. I just feel like my lips disappear with colors like this, and they look so much better with a matte. So let's go into the lipstick. And then when we're done, I'm going to swatch these next to each other because I think they're a little bit different, but maybe it's just the formula is so different. This is a matte. It's called Velvet, which is a matte. I think they describe both of these, obviously they're the same color, as a rosewood. And I feel that the matte has more of the wood. Yes, I am right. So this is the matte, which has more of a brown tone, and this is the Dior Addict, which definitely has more pinkness, which I think would suit this look a little bit more. So you know what I'm going to do? Because I don't like this kind of formula, I'm going to find a lip liner, do a little bit of lining, and then put that on, and then we'll come back with the final look. So you guys, the Dior Ink Lip Liner, I've had this for years, and I'm sure it's pretty dried out, but I managed to get a little bit of a line here, which I think is going to work very well with this color. And because it's a liquid as opposed to a wax, it might actually last a little bit longer, because I imagine the formula is a lip stain. Now, this kind of formula works for me. I just need a little bit of lining or something, and this is the final look. It's not that dramatic, you know. I could do more with the eyes and really go heavy with that darker color, or really go heavy with that center color, which has this fiery nature to it, this one here. This one, as I blended it, it was softer and softer and softer, which is great for someone like me who's always afraid of having something that is too hard and too heavy. But if you want hard and heavy with this particular color, I think you're going to either have to use a different brush or do a couple of layers to get that depth, that real dark pow, if that's what you're looking for. But other than that, I think it's really, really lovely. As for the lip products, they are both scented 100%. You know what? Just for kicks, let's add some darkness to see how dramatic it can get. So I'm going to take this small blender from the Sky set and just see if we can make it a little bit more pow. Now we have it. So I used a light hand, as you saw, but just keep on going. Be a little patient with it. Don't expect it to deliver immediately, but I feel that it's a little more smokier and a little more evening when I went in a little bit darker, a little bit higher. And of course I haven't done a final blend, but they look pretty even to me. All right, now let me show you what I did for a day look the other day. So I'm going to start with this matte, and just like the second day, this is going all over the lid. I'm going to take the same brush and do this as my transition. I'm cutting the editing just for brevity, but this is going to be blended in a bit more. Really, I like these two colors together a lot. I'm going to go in with this squirrel. And one day I walk in and she has two stuffed animals in there. Look how pigmented. And she kicked them out, literally. Like, there's not enough room here for me and you. Both of you are out of here. And again, a blending party on my lids. And this is my final look. All right, you guys, that is going to wrap up today's video. You know what I think. I really like it. Let me know what you think, if you like the day look better or the evening look better. It is subtle, it is sophisticated. If you're looking for something with a lot of punch, you're not going to get it from Dior, but I am really, really okay with that. And that's gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope it was helpful, and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe and smart, and I'm wishing you good health. A beautiful day in sunny California.